changing things up a bit. You see two AEW guys, so you know what that means. It's time for the preview of AEW's second weekly program, that being Rampage. This is the first Rampage following Revolution last Sunday, but the fact of the matter is, we got some interesting things to come as Riho and Nyla Rose will lock up for the first time in 3 years. It is one of those occurrences that I believe I said this a couple of weeks ago, that if Rampage is the place where people that you don't normally get to see are, set to work, then that is the identity of Rampage. It gives people that don't normally get on programming the opportunity to get on national TV. And that's something that we have not really seen with Riho and Nyla Rose, because Riho has not really been on television recently. I think it is because she is one of the talent that jumps back and forth between Japan and AEW. So the fact that she is not on AEW programming that often is not because of any lack of trying from AEW. It's because of the fact that she is an international superstar, not an AEW superstar. But either way, it should be an interesting turn of events to see Nyla Rose back on television with Riho as they redo an old rivalry between two of the former top stars of the AEW two of the original top stars in the AEW women's division. Takeshita is back in action tonight as Takeshita goes against Preston Vance. The one question is, with Don Callis continuing to try and recruit Takeshita, it seems like Takeshita may be interested in the idea of being recruited by the Elite's manager, as he did not throw away Don Callis' business card the last time. And as it says, there seems to be a little bit of curiosity. Maybe Takeshita needs a little bit of direction and a little bit of, stability. And if there's anything that Don Callis can bring, it is a little bit of stability. I would agree with that. But also, there is another match set tonight as Action Andretti once again continues his rivalry with the JAS, as he is in a grudge match with the Spanish God. He is in a grudge match tonight with Sammy Guevara. Sammy's got a little bit of a test run tonight against Action Andretti before the JAS collide with the House of Black and the Elite in a trios three-way next week on Dynamite. So this will be basically, maybe a test run, maybe something to determine it. But I'll say it now that I don't believe the House of Black will lose on Dynamite, because you can't keep, to allow the titles to jump between each trios. I would understand the broader spectrum, but I think if anything, this is more likely a way to get the JAS involved with the Elite, rather than having the House of Black drop the belts to the Elite or the JAS. But that's just my opinion. Or that's just how I'm seeing it, because I just don't believe that the House of Black will drop the belts that soon after winning them. Especially with the ascension of the Blackpool Combat Club as heels, it opens up the possibility of the Blackpool Combat Club visiting Mr. Omega, and maybe the JAS sticking with the House of Black, because the House of Black, I don't know that they're actually heels at this point, because the fans seem to be very intrigued by Malachi and his band of misfits. Also tonight, the Acclaimed will be in action, as the Acclaimed are looking to recover after losing their tag team titles. They're looking to recover after losing the tag belts, and also coming up short on the 4-way at Revolution, where a couple of weeks ago, I was one of those people that said when they lost the belts to the Guns, that basically the Acclaimed were going to win the belts back at Revolution. I did not expect, and I don't think anybody expected, the fact that the Guns would retain the belts at Revolution, and I don't think anybody expected that AEW would have a 4-way at Revolution for the tag team titles. But that is exactly what we got, and we got the opposite of what everybody expected, because nobody expected that that FTR would return and challenge the Guns for the tag team titles. I think most people expected that the feud between the Acclaimed and the Guns would continue, if anything, with the Guns with the Guns losing, and FTR, and with the Guns retaining, and or with the Acclaimed losing, and then fighting the Guns in a rematch. But either way, the Acclaimed will be in action tonight on Rampage, and also we will hear from both Jungle Boy and Jade Cargill, as Jungle Boy looks for his next chapter after defeating Christian Cage and putting that rivalry to rest with his former mentor. And also, who will step up in Canada to fight Jade Cargill? I do think, off the top of my head, that Chris Statlander is supposedly coming back soon. So it is possible that maybe the rivalry between Jade Cargill and Chris Statlander that we were supposed to get last year before Chris Statlander's injury may take place this year instead. But all that more is set to take place. Once again, it is Sammy Guevara against Action Andretti, Takeshita against Preston Vance, and Nyla Rose and Riho, as well as the Acclaimed in action. All that and more on Rampage tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central, on TNT. As I always say, if you're looking for wrestling tonight, you got an action-packed night of wrestling with SmackDown and AEW Rampage, keeping yourself occupied from 8 o'clock till midnight 8 o'clock till 11 with SmackDown, and then with Rampage right after. But this has been the preview for AEW Rampage, and let me know down in the comment section below if you are looking forward to Rampage, and if you are, what you are looking forward to the most, as we will also have an update tonight on what will happen with the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, as Ring of Honor's first pay-per-view of the year is coming up on March 31st, that being Supercard of Honor on March 31st. It is the first pay-per-view of 2023 for Ring of Honor, and we will also have the preview for Supercard of Honor on March 31st coming up as well. With that being said, I would love to find out what's happening with the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. All that and more tonight on TNT at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. This has been your preview for AEW Rampage.